your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
KDUS AM 1060 Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix is brought to you by AC by J, Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Drains.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. My name is Vince DeLisio, and what an amazing first hour with the My Recruit Show with our old friend, Coach Perrone. Had a great time in that first hour. Here we go. The train keeps rolling, and I want to welcome you to the show. What I want to do is welcome our co-host for today. Before I do that, I want to give you a rundown, and actually, I'm doing this. You know, I don't normally give a preview of the show. We just kind of, it happens, and we go through it, but I got some great feedback this week from one of our biggest fans, my mom, and she said, I love it when you talk about what's going to happen on the show. That way I know to plan the next 2 hours. So I'm going to do this. So, Mom, this is for you and as well as everyone else. We have content from our talented broadcast staff. We are going to do segments this morning on the NYS. We have youth football. We've got a couple of games scheduled today, so we're going to be featuring coaches from Raiders Arizona, from the Elite Bears, from the Junior Eagles. We've got games tonight with each of those programs being featured. We've got a feature on ASU Women's Club Hockey. We've got a feature on Cooper Perry from the Notre Dame Prep Saints. Congratulations to Notre Dame Prep last night. Big triple overtime win over previously undefeated Desert Mountain. We've got a special segment. It's actually an NAIA football preview recap with a couple of old friends of mine. Every so often I'll get invited. I still don't know why I get invited to participate with these guys, but no, in all seriousness, we get invited to participate in a roundtable with some experts in NAIA football. And as you guys know, or maybe you don't, I cut my teeth covering NAIA football when we started this show 4 years ago, and the train's been moving ever since. I'm now a voting member of the NAIA football media poll. I'm very privileged to do that every week. And so we're going to talk a little Arizona Christian, Ottawa University, as well as some other regional teams in other parts of the country, where today's guests, Joey McWilliams from Midwest Sports Net, James Lex from Champion Sports Network, and Corey Thorpe from NAIA Football out of Florida. So we're going to hear from those guys at 8:30. We're going to have actually an ASU football review from Michaela Nagel. And we are going to talk to It's Dylan, my old buddy Dylan Weinmiller, the It's Dylan segment. Guys, I'll tell you about It's Dylan as we go on in the show. You're going to be amused with that. Coach Gertz will be on with us from Canyon View. We're going to have Aaron Herpy joining us to talk a little ASU recruiting. Dan Marr is going to do a segment for us. We've got the JUCO report. We'll be joined by Gila River Hawks coach Mike Denny of the HJCAC. He'll be joining us live. We've got a story on the Suns Media Day and their preseason. We've got a primetime prediction in the NFL from Kristos Zafiropoulos. We have Jacob Carlisle talk a little Goldwater women's basketball, Goldwater High School, our old friends over there. We've got ASU women's volleyball from Noelle Blumel, a little story there. ASU hockey. We've got the SaberCat report with Coach Jason Mons from Saguaro High School. Be joining us. Big win last night. Congratulations for the SaberCat family defeating Desert Edge last night. We've got a post-game report from Horizon High School. Big win over Higley last night, previously undefeated Higley. Coach Andy Litton will be joining us. We've got Coach Brandon McNutt from Camelback High School, big win over Fairfax. Coach Conrad Hamilton from Desert Mountain will be joining us. Once again, Coach Garrett's from Canyon View, Nick Garrett's. And then we're going to close out the show with my old friend Mike Beal with the Beachin' with Beal Southern California Surf Report. He's been on he calls it a Vincipalooza. He's been checking out all the beaches in up and down Southern California. He'll be joining us from an undisclosed location today to close out the show. Always fun. Let's get to know our guests. All right. So, from the Cronkite School of Journalism, a couple of our newest team members. We've got Paul Schulz and we've got Kristos Zafiropoulos. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Vince.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
I'm fired up to be here.
I'm fired up to have you here. So, Paul, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about you. First of all, where are you from? How did you end up in Arizona?
So I was born and raised in Southern California. Grew up in a town called Fullerton, North Orange County. Went to high school there, went to community college for 2 years at Fullerton College, and found a passion for journalism and for sports. I'd grown up playing sports, but really wanted to get into a different side of it because, as a lot of sports journalists find out, not playing at the higher levels in college and whatnot, kind of want to find a different way into the business. So found a passion for sports journalism and looked at a couple different schools across the nation, and the Cronkite School was definitely at the top of a lot of lists that I saw. Came here, toured it, fell in love with the Valley and with Arizona, and here I am now.
That really is your voice.
Yeah.
How long have you been talking like that?
Well, my voice has gotten deeper as I've gone through college and now here. But
right.
I've always
just giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. No, that you definitely have the voice for it. So anyway, okay. Kristos, you're also a Southern California guy.
Yeah, I am. I'm from San Diego, California.
Okay.
I grew up there my entire life from Del Mar area. I went to high school there. My mom actually went to Arizona State, and I've always wanted to come here to ASU. And when I realized I wasn't good enough, obviously, to play any professional sports, I definitely wanted to still be involved, and broadcasting has kind of always been my goal. So I came out here, went to ASU. The Walter Cronkite School offers a lot of great opportunities, so I'm just really happy to be here.
So, okay, so Paul, what are you doing for us this fall? You're doing a lot of different stuff. Talk a little bit about some of the things that you're doing.
Yeah, so I started out working mostly camera and a couple other positions for our Friday night high school and Saturday night HJCAC games, and kind of moved my way into the broadcasting side, hosting Varsity Weekly a couple times, joining you here on the radio show.
Talk about Varsity Weekly. What's Varsity Weekly?
Varsity Weekly, we get all of our interns together. They put together some great content with some visual elements. We obviously have contributions for the radio show here, but with video, with interviews, recaps, whatever, and put it all together. We've got HJCAC, NYS, as you mentioned, our high school football recaps. We've got some ASU segments once in a while.
Yeah.
And so we have an anchor that helps make the show flow, put it all together every week, and I've done that a couple times, and that's been a fun thing to do, to hear all the stories that have been told and to try to, bridge the gap, put everything together as I can. And so I've done anchoring on that a couple times, and I will later in the semester as well. And then got some opportunities to do play-by-play and color, and I've enjoyed that immensely so far.
You're doing an amazing job, by the way. It has surpassed expectation, and we had kind of, when we met, it was almost an 11th hour type of situation where you came in a little late, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I saw your resume, and I got to plug this guy in somewhere. We got to get in, and you have definitely stepped up, and you've been very versatile. So thank you for that. But you've embraced every role, and it's I think even in the last 5 weeks, I mean, you have grown immensely, but you came in with a real good skill set as well.
Well, the funny thing is, I never have done until this semester, until that first HJCAC game that I called, I had never done play-by-play before. It was always a dream of mine, but I never thought that I had a shot at doing it or anything like that. And once I was behind the mic, I thought I'd be nervous and all that, and I was at first, but once you get into that flow, it just kind of passes as the game passes along. And so I've loved it, and I'm calling another game with Stos actually tonight out at Campo Verde High School.
The dream team. All right. Yes, big game tonight. And we're going to have Coach Denny on, the head coach of the Gila River Hawks, a little later on in the program, so you can even toss him a couple tough questions. So he's up for it every time, so he's good. Kristos, now what are you doing with the Varsity Sports Show this fall?
So with the Varsity Sports Show, I'm over at Canyon View for a majority of my games. I'm doing color analyst stuff over there.
Okay.
And it's been a really good experience because I haven't been able to call any games before, so this is my first time getting to do that. And besides for just going to the games, also just producing radio content, helping out with Varsity Weekly every once in a while whenever it's my week to do so. And then also Varsity Sports Show has just done a great job giving me opportunities to go to some cool events. I've gone to I went to High School Football Media Day earlier this year.
That's right. We did that at the beginning of the year out in Agua Fria. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was cool meeting all the coaches and the players in the district and getting familiar with them prior to the season starting. And then, again, yesterday I went to another cool event. I was at the ASU Hall of Fame inductee event. Got the opportunity to interview Terrell Suggs.
Wow.
That'll be on the Varsity Weekly this upcoming week. So that was a really awesome opportunity. I wanted to shout out Anthony Remedios as well because he did a really good job out there. Same with James Wilder.
Yeah.
So good job to those
guys.
guys.
Jay Wilder.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you, again, guys, this has been amazing to have you join. This is the best semester yet, and this team that we have assembled has just surpassed expectations. You guys are doing a really good job. I know Kristos in particular out at Canyon View, I mean, they love the work that you're doing. I'm seeing it because I'm going through, and I wish I could spend more time out there, but I'm watching a lot of the content and the production. And Paul, same thing with you with the games that you're calling now, and as well as a lot of your camera work. It's just good stuff, and you're laying a good foundation for great things to come down the road. You're making yourselves very versatile in this business, and you're going to find, again, and I tell everybody this that joins our show, look, your first job out of college is not going to be, ESPN. I mean, there's steps along the way, and you have to be able to pivot job-wise and take on those roles that maybe not everybody wants to take on initially to put yourself in position for success. I mean, even Jimmy Kimmel started off, scrubbing floors. Everybody starts that way, and it's where you finish. And you're going to find along the way, the journey is going to take you to some interesting places and some interesting jobs. But at least here, we're doing our best to get you that exposure. Again, I'm thrilled, honored you guys are joining us in studio today. Paul Schulz from Southern California, Kristos Zafiropoulos, you go by Stos from Southern California as well. We're going to have a fun show today. You guys are loving ASU. Oh, real quick, before we go to break, just in 10 seconds, how do you like ASU? 10 seconds.
I absolutely love it.
Okay.
The Cronkite School especially, it's just a phenomenal experience.
Stos. Same here. I think Cronkite just offers a lot of great resources for us students. I came in here during the COVID year, so being able to see how they've handled that and just improving every single year since then has been really, really nice to see.
Awesome. Guys, when we come back from the break, we got an NYS report, youth football. We've got ASU Women's Club Hockey. We got Cooper Perry from the Notre Dame Prep Saints. And we have the NYS Eagles also. Cooper Perry, by the way, was one of our midseason MVP players in our halftime report that we've been featuring. Anyway, guys, stick around. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. Going to be a great 2 hours. You miss a minute, you miss a lot. We'll be back after the break. Go Varsity.
Ready to bring KDUS AM 1060 into your home with Alexa?
Hi, I'm Alexa.
Download the KDUS AM 1060 skill and enable. Then say, Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060.
This is where I start my day.
Hi, this is Kelsey Dickerson, and I start my Saturday mornings the right way, listening to Vince and the Varsity Crew on the Varsity Sports Show from 9 to 10 a.m. on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vets Built Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vets Built is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vets Built at 480-584-3675.
Founder-level sponsors, the Kristen Graziano Group with HomeSmart Elite, are proud to be Saguaro alumni, community advocates, and your hometown realtors. The Kristen Graziano Group is ranked in the top 1.5% of real estate teams nationally, and your top-selling team right here in SaberCat territory. The Kristen Graziano Group can currently be seen on the Emmy-nominated TV show Selling the Valley of the Sun. When you're ready to buy, sell, or want to know the value of your home, reach out to the group that knows the neighborhood, the Kristen Graziano Group.
My name is Sherry Miller, and I am calling because I watch your broadcast of Canyon View every Friday night because my grandson in Arizona plays for them. And I just want to tell you how impressed I am by the young man who does the, I guess you would call it play-by-play. He's so excited. He's very cute. And
Need social information about KDUS AM 1060? Try KDUS1060.com, at KDUS AM 1060 on Twitter, and Facebook.com/KDUS AM 1060.
It's the NYS on the Varsity Sports Show. AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. All right, guys, welcome to the NYS Report. We've got a couple of big games here on a Saturday night, and tonight we've got our weekly NYS Game of the Week. This week, it's going to be out at O'Connor High School at 6 p.m. It'll be the Junior Eagles in the 11U division facing Raiders, Arizona. And joining us on the line is the head coach of that Raiders team, Coach Adam Schwartz. Coach Schwartz, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Vince. Thanks for having me here tonight.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Coach, a couple questions. First of all, I wanted to welcome you to the show. We hadn't featured your team yet this season. We're excited about it. Heard some great things about you, but wanted to get down to the nitty-gritty and just ask you a little bit about your team. So tell us a little bit about Raiders AZ, about some of the kids on your team. Are you a pretty big team? What's the season been like?
Well, it depends on which guys show up this weekend. We could be a really big team up front, or we could not be. So,
okay.
With 11U football, it's we have a good, strong core of kids. Up front, we're anchored by we got 5 big linemen, led by we have Priscilla's a really strong lineman for us. Mason, our center tank, guard Andrew, and tackle Johnny. We're strong up front. Offensively, our offense is led by Peter Craig, our quarterback. He's got a strong arm and makes good decisions with the ball. In the backfield, Micah Flowers is carrying most of the load, and he's a strong running back with experience. He's got a little burst to him. Out in the receiving ranks, Roman Drew is one of our top performers and has the ability to take the ball 80 if we can get out there to him. Bodie Schwartz is a strong slot receiver and possession receiver, and then Zekem is our other big threat out there on the outside right now offensively.
Awesome. These kids, I mean, they're young, but a lot of these teams they've been together for a long time. How long do these kids play together?
Well, some of the kids have been playing together about 3 or 4 years. This is my first year serving as the head coach here, so we had a little changing of the guard, and so we have brought in quite a few new kids this year, which we're really excited about. So we have some kids that are veterans to the Raiders organization, and we have some kids that this is their first year with us, and they're coming out and being contributing members of the team.
Awesome. At this level, I find, and I've got the utmost respect for coaches that coach at the youth level, regardless of the age, because of the concentration, in my opinion. I think there's obviously more concentration on the fundamentals of the game. You got to teach these kids how to play the game before you really get into the X's and O's. And some of the best coaches that I've ever worked with that were technicians of the game have been in the NYS. And talk a little bit about some of the coaches that work with you.
Well, we're blessed to have Coach Adrian, who runs our offense, Coach Ken, who helps out on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. And you're right. In a former life, I was a college football coach, and my last stop was in the Big East back when they had a Big East. And coaching 11-year-old football is infinitely more challenging than it is coaching college football. So, but my coaches put in a lot of hours, not only on the fields and practice and on the weekends, but also in preparation for the game and communication with families, with myself, and can't thank both Coach Ken and Coach Adrian enough for all the work they do.
Awesome. Well, it's definitely rewarding, and we appreciate all you do, Coach, and looking forward to catching you. Big game tonight out at O'Connor High School, 6 p.m. kickoff. You can join us here on the Varsity Sports Show. Just head over to our Twitter at Varsity Show, and you'll catch the link for the game. Looking forward to it. Coach, good luck tonight, and go Raiders.
Thank you, Vince. Have a great night.
Hey sports fans, this is Elia Harriet with the Varsity Sports Show, back with the Sun Devil Sports Report. There is some big news for women's club ice hockey. The team will host GCU at Mullet Arena on October 12th at 7 p.m. The women's club ice hockey team is a part of the American Collegiate Hockey Association. The league is very competitive, and the University of Minnesota, University of Utah, and GCU are some of the few schools that are also a part of the league. Mullet Arena is the new multi-purpose arena at Arizona State. It is the home to Sun Devil hockey, gymnastics, and wrestling. The space will also hold community events as well. The ASU vs. GCU Women's Club Ice Hockey matchup will follow after the ASU men's hockey team scrimmage that will take place at 6 p.m. Be sure to head out to Tempe and check out some great action on the ice and get an inside look at the newly built Mullet Arena. This has been a Sun Devil Sports Report with Elia Harriet.
Hello, Varsity sports fans. This is Jay Wilder, and today I'm alongside sophomore wide receiver for the Notre Dame Prep Saints, Cooper Perry. How's it going, Cooper?
Pretty good.
That's good to hear. And my first question to you today is, what are the aspects that have led to your incredibly productive season so far?
I mean, obviously the line and my quarterback Noah, but I've just been able to make a play when I get the ball. So just been fortunate for that. So that's basically it.
Congrats on your ASU full ride scholarship, by the way. That is amazing.
Thank you.
How has it been in the recruiting process this early in the high school stage?
I've just been so blessed that a team has believed in me and a coach has believed in me. And it's been a goal of mine since last year. And I'm just happy that it's been so early and I've been so fortunate. So nothing but good things from coach and the ASU program.
What are some differences that you've noticed between the way you played your freshman season to your sophomore season? What are the key differences in your game this year?
I've just matured my route running and I've gotten a lot better at that. Last year was my first year receiver, so I just kind of had to figure it out. But getting pulled up to varsity midway through just made me realize like I got to work, and started just getting my route running and getting that dialed in. So that's basically the main thing that's improved.
This is your second year of being a wide receiver?
Yeah, all the youth have been a running back. So that was my first year last year.
Oh my, this is crazy. So how has that transition been? It's obviously gone pretty well because you're already getting scholarships.
I mean, I've just been blessed to be just to make a play, but it was kind of easy. Once I just get the ball, I just got to score. It's basically it. But there's definitely things I got to work on. But yeah,
it's all about the points on the board. I love it. And lastly, what does Notre Dame Prep need to do to make a deep playoff run?
We've had some crucial injuries from our starting running back and one of our receivers, so we just got to get healthy and just maintain that. And we just gotta be able to run the ball and throw it when we need to. Spread it out. We'll be good.
He is Cooper Perry, star sophomore wide receiver for the Notre Dame Prep Saints, averaging 104.8 yards per game and has 12 touchdowns on the season. I am Jay Wilder. See you guys next time.
It's the NYS on the Varsity Sports Show. AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. All right, guys, joined by Junior Eagles 11U head coach Cliff Dixon. Coach Dixon, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show, and wanted to talk a little bit about your team in the big game tonight for the NYS Game of the Week at 6 p.m. out at O'Connor High School. First of all, welcome to the show, and thanks for allowing us to feature you guys.
Oh, well, thanks for having me, and no problem. We're excited to be on it.
Awesome. Coach, I tend to ask coaches this question. When people think of blank, meaning, insert your team name here, what are you guys known for?
I would say the biggest thing as far as my team is just the heart and the determination of just a group of kids coming together for their first season and just going hard the whole time, giving me 100%. And that's really all I look for, and that's all I ask for out of my guys. As long as they go hard, as long as they go full speed, I can't ask for any more than that.
Now, there's a lot of teams out there that even at this age that have played together for 3-4 years since 7U. You had mentioned off mic that you've got some new kids out there, some new faces. What have the growing pains been like?
There's growing pains every season, regardless if they're brand new or not. But I think the biggest thing is just getting these kids into a zone to where they've been told their whole life to be nice and don't be too aggressive, and it's getting them out of that comfort zone and having them go hard against an opponent, whether it be their friends from another team or each other at practice. And I guess I would just say the hardest hurdle to get over is just getting them, aggressive and teaching them the basics of football. Most of them come from a flag football or just no football background, and just teaching them the basics and watching them grow.
Two things that I had the most difficult time with when I played back then, it was Pop Warner, and I was probably 9 years old, was putting equipment on. That was a frustrating thing. And conditioning. How have the kids responded to both of those, the new ones?
The equipment, they've got that down pretty good by now. The conditioning, I do run them pretty hard. We do a lot of drills, we do a lot of cardio, and that's one of the main focuses I push, because I tell them constantly, even on, your off time, conditioning is probably the most important thing, because I need you to go 4 quarters in a game, not one. So we push them, and we kind of try to get them past their threshold of being comfortable and make them understand that they have so much more inside of them. As long as they push through it, they can achieve anything they want.
All right. Coach Cliff Dixon, head coach of the O'Connor Junior Eagles 11U division, facing off against Raiders Arizona tonight, 6 p.m. You can find the link to that game on our Twitter at Varsity Show. Coach, good luck. See you out there tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Your caddy, Ray Adams, takes you beyond the 18th hole on Saturday mornings with Great American Golf from 6 to 7 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbetterAthletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind. Welcome to the Jaguar Nation. The Varsity Sports Show is proud to partner up with Canyon View High School in the West Valley to be the voice of Jaguar athletics. Tune in on Saturdays to hear the Jaguar Nation, featuring coaches, students, and staff between 9 and 10 a.m. on AM 1060 KDUS, and subscribe to the Varsity Sports Show YouTube channel to get free exclusive coverage of Canyon View sporting events. Welcome to the Jaguar Nation.
Jack it up.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com.
Hi there, this is Willow Canyon men's basketball coach Joseph Coletti. You are listening to the home of Wildcat basketball, the Varsity Sports Show, 1060 AM, KDUS, Arizona.
Easy Sports Talk with former NFL and MLB player Ed Smith and co-host Javon Adams airs Saturday mornings 10 to noon on KDUS AM 1060.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. Now it's time to talk a little NAIA football. So, as I was saying at the first segment, I cut my teeth covering NAIA football. Great football. Ottawa University in Arizona, Arizona Christian University. There's a bunch of others, not only regionally but nationally. I mean, the number of NAIA schools just totally blows Division I out of the water with the mass number. I mean, there are so many opportunities for young people, and I've got some friends on the line. You know, I'm a voting member of the NAIA football media poll every week, and I have a lot of fun with it. But these guys definitely raise the bar because they live it day in, day out. They cover it religiously and in their respective parts of the country, and they know this stuff like the back of their hands and the back of my hands. We've got Joey McWilliams from Midwest Sports Net. Joey, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Vince. Man, it's good to hear you.
Oh, it's great to hear you all the way from Oklahoma. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. And, Vince, I have to tell you, I listen frequently to your show, and I just was listening again this morning, and I looked at my wife. I said, I don't know, he ran down all the things that are going to happen today on the show. How you get that in 2 hours amazes me.
My mom, it really tells me the same thing too. She says, go through this because I want to know when I can stop listening. She says that to me, but I like to keep people in suspense because I want them to listen. But yes, Corey Thorpe from NAIA football, NAIA F-ball in Florida. Corey, how are you, sir?
Hey, doing all right. It's the coolest morning here in Northwest Florida, and ready for a great day of football.
Oh man, we are excited. Did the storms hit you out there?
It went right around us. I mean, if you stuck a pin where we are, it literally went to the east and then went back around to the north.
Wow. Okay, but you guys are okay. So it's not like one of those images where the tornado comes in and levels everything. You guys you're okay.
Yeah, we are. It wasn't like 4 years ago when Michael hit us and wiped cities off the map.
Okay. Well, anyway, now that things are a bit more normalcy now here on a beautiful Saturday and we can talk some football. Also want to welcome to the program the fourth member of our panel, James Lex from Champion Sports Network out of Waxahachie, Texas, near Dallas. I think I said that right. James, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Vince.
Oh, awesome. He is there. Okay, guys, let's get right into it. First of all, Joey, I want to start with you. You're in Oklahoma. Who's hot right now regionally in NAIA football?
Well, I'm in Oklahoma. I try to cover a lot of the Midwest, and there are so many good schools out there. There are a couple of top 10 matchups within the Midwest alone. You've got Marion taking on Indiana Wesleyan today, Southwestern Kansas taking on Bethel. That one's just outside the top 10 in that matchup, but still, these teams are all flying high, and they're putting themselves in a position, I believe, to maybe try to make some noise against Morningside. Who can stop Morningside at this point?
Yeah, they're a machine. Corey, out in Florida, who's hot?
Right now, there's not many that are hotter than Bethel of Tennessee. The Wildcats defeated a top 10 opponent in Georgetown last week, and they're gearing up to make and finish up their run through the Mid-South Conference.
Wow. Okay. James, Champion Sports Network, and fellow Paisan out in Waxahachie, Texas. What do you got for us?
Well, it's hard not to talk about Langston at undefeated. They're now up to 21 in the national rankings, and you have to wonder, is this the year they are going to secure a Sooner Athletic Conference championship? They're usually a perennial favorite. Haven't won it in a while, thanks to the Spirit out in Ottawa and the Firestorm in Arizona Christian. But well, we're going to see if this is the year. They are right now blowing teams out. And but the strength of schedule is about to get a little tougher for them.
Well, let's talk about the Sooner Athletic Conference. In the overall scheme of things, the Sooner, which is where the Spirit of Ottawa play right now, as well as the ACU Firestorm, they're a relatively young conference, only been around a few years now, but they're starting to make some noise nationally. Corey, tell us what you know about the Sooner Athletic Conference.
Sooner right now, in terms of its membership and where it's looking to go right now, it's in a little bit of flux. When you're looking to add a couple of teams and have been adding teams, but also you're going to be losing Arizona Christian. So as far as football wise, you're really trying to find your footing and regain it as to who you are and trying to compete on the larger stage in the NAIA playoffs.
Okay, and James, from what you've known, you've covered in terms of you've covered SAGU, Southwest Assemblies of God University, and one of the teams in the conference, and you've had a chance to see Ottawa. You've seen Arizona Christian. Talk about Ottawa and what you know of them.
Well, Ottawa for years, there was a little, when I initially got into Sooner, the question was, how good are they going to be? And they've only proven they're perennial favorites every year. And this season, they moved up to the 7th in the national rankings. And we said, hey, this Ottawa team is for real. They're going to go. And for those who know Ottawa from last season, they had Morningside on the ropes and Morningside being on the ropes in a national playoff game is an impressive accomplishment. It took to the third quarter for Morningside, and a couple of breaks kind of went the way of the Mustangs. But otherwise, Ottawa, they almost won that game, and you have to wonder how that changes the entire landscape of the NAIA if Ottawa's moving on. And that was early in the playoffs too. This season again, kind of come back here, where they were 7th. They a surprising loss last week to Arizona Christian, but really not that surprising. You have 4 teams in the Sooner between Ottawa and Arizona Christian.
And that being said, let's take it back to Arizona Christian. And Joey, you had a chance to see these guys a couple of weeks back. Were you surprised by the upset victory over Ottawa last week?
Well, it was an upset on paper, that's for sure, because it was a top 10 team in Ottawa. But you listen to the fan base, that wasn't an upset at all, and I don't really think it was. I'm not giving Arizona Christian the Lifetime Achievement Award in the Sooner Athletic Conference just yet, especially since they're on their way out. This is a farewell tour right now.
Yeah.
But the way that the Firestorm played, and especially the way they played late, Tyler Duncan, responsible for 14 points himself in that 17-7 fourth quarter. Not only the touchdown pass, the touchdown run, also a 2-point conversion. The defense steps in, they get a safety. It was all-around effort, and the team just closed in, did what they needed to do, and I think it was a kind of a parting shot. It's not like these two teams don't meet each other in conference, apart from, playing in football in the Sooner Athletic Conference. They see themselves in a Golden State Athletic Conference. They're there. They're going to be around together for a while. But for football, it was a nice parting shot, and I don't see it that much as an upset. I think Arizona Christian is going to continue to make some noise. But one of the things, to Corey's point about losing teams, the Sooner Athletic Conference, with 10 teams in play in football, as the conference has been sponsoring that for just this limited amount of time, it's a great conference. It's been around for a long, long time. One of the more dominating conferences overall in the country. National championships, so many of them in basketball and other sports, softball, baseball, you name it. I actually have a daughter who went to a Sooner Athletic Conference program in Oklahoma City University, 2-time All-American as well. I wanted to throw that out there. Thanks, Vince, for giving me a chance to do that.
You're welcome for the plug. There you go.
However, having said that, it's not just Arizona Christian. It's Lyon, too. Lyon is going NCAA Division III, so it's going to be a conference that goes from 10 teams down to 8, just like that. And trying to fill that gap, if they want to do more than just the 8 teams, I think it's going to be interesting.
I'm excited to circle back with you guys at the tail end of the season to see how things kind of shake out. And I do appreciate you guys joining us this morning. And he's Joey McWilliams from Midwest Sportsnet. We've got Corey Thorpe from NAIA F-Ball, the preeminent expert. We've got James Lex from Champion Sports Network. All three of these guys are masters of their domain and with regard to knowing NAIA sports. Guys, thank you again. We're going to circle back. We're going to chat again in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Hey everyone, it's Michaela Nagel here from the Varsity Sports Show. Arizona State football jumps back into action this week against Washington today. The Sun Devils are currently 1-4 so far this season. Last week, number 6th ranked USC beat ASU 42-25. I was able to attend a press conference where quarterback Emory Jones talks about his teammates' confidence as the season has progressed and what he does as a leader to make sure everyone is on the same page. He stated that his team has to wake up with a purpose and tackle every single day as it comes. He continues to talk about last week's game and how him and his teammates have to execute better and come off more aggressively in order to keep moving forward on the field. ASU is at home today as they go up against number 21 ranked Washington at 1 p.m. This is Michaela Nagel, Varsity Sports Show.
All right, welcome back. Great report, Michaela. And on that topic, I want to pitch this over to you guys. None of this was rehearsed, but we're going to make you the panel experts of ASU football. Why? Well, number one, you guys are on campus. You're seeing this stuff every day. You're watching it. It's in your face. You're part of the media, so you're seeing all these reports come out. Let's start with you, Kristos. Let's talk about the coaching change.
So it is a big coaching change. Herm Edwards was the coach for Arizona State for a long time. And I think a lot of people within the Sun Devils fan base expected it to work out, I'd say. I mean, Paul, you were at the USC game this past weekend, and you got an opportunity to watch the Sun Devils play under their new head coach. How'd they look to you?
Well, I want to go back to Herm Edwards and bringing in that pro model, like you said, a lot of high expectations there. But I really like the culture that's been brought in with Sean Aguano taking over as the interim head coach and with his Ohana mentality that he brought over from his time at Chandler and how he's brought that into the running backs room. And now the team as a whole seems to be buying in really well. You know, they struggled against Utah, understandably, with such a powerful team there in the top half of the Pac-12. But I was extremely impressed last week against USC with what I saw, the product on the field. The defense stepped up. Valade had another great game. And Emory Jones in the passing game was shockingly good against USC, who was, and I believe may still be, the number 6 team in the country.
Yeah, they definitely looked good for playing such a high-tier team. Tonight, they actually will be facing off, or not tonight, actually, this afternoon, they will be facing off against Washington, the number 21 ranked team. And it's going to be a tough game once again for ASU. They've had a few tough games on their schedule, but I really feel like this is an opportunity for ASU to get their first big win under Aguano and really just make a statement as a new team. It's a fresh start for everybody in the Sun Devils organization, it feels like, because, I mean, when you get a new coach, especially in the middle of the season, it's tough for a lot of people. It's tough for the players sometimes. You got to get adjusted. And, I mean, the Sun Devils, they haven't had a top 50 recruiting class in the past few years, and I don't know. What do you think about that, Paul?
Right. Well, I think that's Sean Aguano's big thing. One of his big pitches is he wants to keep Arizona high school guys in Arizona. You've seen that same mentality take over at USC as a SoCal kid myself, you know, growing up in the LA area. That's something that at USC they didn't have for a while. You've got guys from Mater Dei, some of these bigger Bosco, some of these bigger schools going out of state, going to Alabama, Clemson, all over the place. And so USC bringing in Lincoln Riley kind of brought that back. And I think that's exactly what Sean Aguano is trying to do, keeping these kids in Arizona here. And with his success, a multiple-time high school championship coach with that Chandler team, he is definitely bringing in a large emphasis on recruiting. So I think that's going to be key to his success in this year. And in case he does get a shot next year, how he's able to recruit these guys in the local area. We've seen him out at high school games on Thursday and Friday nights when they're at home, and he's definitely making his impact and his presence known in the Valley.
Yeah, and that's funny that you said that, Paul, about recruiting, about how important it is to have Arizona students stay here, because I was talking to Terrell Suggs yesterday, and he said that's the number one thing that Arizona State needs to focus on when it comes to recruitment, is making sure that the local Arizona kids want to play for ASU. That's how you're going to get other students to want to play here as well.
Right, and we're real quickly, number 21 Washington, upset by UCLA, 40-32 last week. UCLA jumped to 18, so it's going to be a good game at Sun Devil Stadium today.
Guys, when we come back from the break, we'll be joined by my old friend Dylan Weinmiller for It's Dylan. Stick around. Thanks for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. Go Varsity.
Have you downloaded the KDUS AM 1060 skill for Alexa yet?
Food. Alexa is frustrated. No matter how many times do you ask, the answer is mail, chicken.
Once you're ready, say Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060 to listen to your favorite shows.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show. The Varsity Sports Show is proud to partner with SaberCat Athletics. That's right, the Scottsdale Saguaro SaberCats are on the Varsity Sports Show. Join the varsity team as we cover the Cats during the SaberCat Report on Saturday morning's Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, featuring players, coaches, and commentary. Look out for live stream coverage of Saguaro SaberCat sporting events by going to YouTube and searching for Varsity Sports Show, then click that subscribe button to stay up to date. The Saguaro SaberCats are here. Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. Chris Scott of RE/MAX is Central Oregon's best realtor for anyone thinking of a vacation home or relocation. He's our very own born and raised Phoenician who moved his family to Central Oregon nearly 15 years ago. Contact Chris if you're thinking of exploring beautiful Central Oregon. It truly is living at its best. 541-999-5614. Proud partner of the Varsity Sports Shows, It's Dylan.
We'll do what's best for the team, and we'll do what's best for you.
The Rich Eisen Show, coming to you weekdays from 3 to 5 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
Welcome to Dylan. He's out and about looking for fun. He's Dylan. Brought to you by Chris Scott of RE/MAX Key Properties in Bend, Oregon, where it's living at its best. 541-999-5614. And now, it's Dylan. Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS Arizona. Vince Delicio, joined by my friends in studio, broadcast colleagues, Paul Schulz and Kristos Zafiropoulos, and our old friend Dylan. So apparently, Dylan, you reared your ugly head last night at one of our games.
I did. It was a great time.
Yeah, and you harassed a couple of our staffers, including Paul here.
I would not use the word harass, but you know what? We did agree on a couple of things.
You
I don't know if I'm
occupied
able
their
to
time.
share.
Okay, go ahead. Share. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I these are just my opinions, but
okay.
I was talking to Dr. Munoz last night too, and he was talking about fixing the sound system, getting a new scoreboard, all this money being donated to Camelback and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, and I ran this by Paul too. It's like, okay, so it's the sound system that always made your voice irritating and annoying. It wasn't your voice.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm listening to you all morning, and
it's
sure
the
enough,
sound system.
It
right?
is your voice.
Yes.
No, it's your voice.
So Paul, when I described, you met Dylan last night. When I described him off mic before we came back, what did I tell you about him?
Choose your words wisely, Paul.
Oh, he's never going to see you again. Go ahead, Paul.
The one thing I will say, there is a lot of square footage on that head, Vince.
Oh,
there we go.
You traitor. You traitor. You succumb to the
Yes.
pressure.
Square footage. That's a great
Unbelievable.
way to,
That is a good way of looking
it
at
is.
it. But
It is.
unbelievable.
All right.
That was not what you said to me to my face last night. Unbelievable.
All right. Yeah, whatever. All right. So Dylan, so you were at the game last night. Yeah. So talk about the Camelback Fairfax game.
You know what? It was a tough game for both teams. You know, it really impressed. There weren't a lot of penalties. The ones that they did have, were just kind of common things, offsides here and there and encroachment here and there. They had just a killer penalty at the end where they hit the kicker. I mean, stuff like that. But overall, hard-fought game for both teams. Really impressed with I think it was 38. It might have been 28. The running back for Camelbacks, a horse, man. That kid can run, and he's physical and aggressive. Same thing on Fairfax's side. They had a couple of really good athletes that stood out. And then a lot of blown opportunities, just drop balls and some little things like that. Easy for me to say now that I just stand on the sidelines and, kind of watch and things like that. But, just some stuff about, high pointing a ball, little things like that. High point the ball. The Camelback missed a couple of opportunities for picks. Quarterback missed some open reads. I mean, there was a kid standing in the end zone, literally doing jumping jacks for the ball, and the quarterback missed him. So there was a lot of missed opportunities for both sides, but really a fun game to watch because it was competitive. It went back and forth. And overall, pretty clean game. I know I talked about the penalties, but overall, it was a pretty clean game. So that was a lot of fun. And then just seeing some old friends, just people randomly in the stands saying hi, parents of some players and stuff like that. So good time overall. And Paul, I'm disappointed, buddy. I'm disappointed.
I was just going to say, Dylan, I saw you when we were talking down on the sidelines. You were kind of coaching up the players from the sideline and coaching up the coaches a little bit. What were some of the things you saw from your perspective there?
That's I don't know if I was coaching up anybody more than just kind of what I would be doing if I were on the sidelines.
Okay.
It's things that were missed, little simple techniques and stuff like that. Quarterback's hands go up, D-line hands go up. A lot of times the guys had never gotten their hands up. Little things like that. We talked about the one where the kid just kind of waited for the ball, waited, and didn't make the interception. Stuff like that. Same thing. I mean, now that I'm not coaching, I can hear the sidelines as well, or I'm sorry, the stands, and both the stands and the sidelines were basically saying the same thing. Parents up in the stands, go get the ball, don't wait for it. Stuff like that. Just little technique stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of times where I'm basically talking to myself.
Like you're doing right now.
Well, I'm talking to my millions of listeners across the world. So,
Dylan, we're gonna have to wrap it up. But next, next we're gonna have to we're gonna have an interview with Coach Gertz over at Canyon View.
Yeah,
good guy.
Ryan Blank will be interviewing him.
All right, guys. Hey, you take care.
Yep.
Paul, I will see you around, buddy.
Yes, I'll see you, Dylan.
Hopefully it won't be a dark alley.
Yeah. Thanks, Dylan. Thanks, Chris Scott.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan Blank alongside Canyon View head coach Nick Gertz. And, Coach, what's your outlook for the rest of the season? 5 games in, halfway through. What's the outlook going to the home stretch?
Great question. We got to get better. And it's everyone, coaches, players. You see glimpses of it, but we haven't quite figured it out yet. So we're getting closer. And then, all week we've been talking about the real season starts this week. So that's the message. And, you got to take it one game at a time and see what happens.
And you mentioned that this is where the real season starts, knowing that regional play comes in now. And knowing that there were some additions to boost your division in your section, what do you think that does for the team? If you guys can pull it together, like you said, you're getting close, what would it be resume-wise to help you guys get into the playoffs?
Yeah, who knows where we're at right now. But I think our being in the region that we're in right now, it's definitely going to help us come playoff time and all that. So, like I said, take it one game at a time. We'll see where we end up. But I like our region, and I think it's definitely more competitive this year than last year. And just looking at everybody's records, where they're at, stuff like that. There's no one that we can just walk on the field and think we can win. So we got to show up every week.
And then looking at last year, it's kind of like the script is falling the same way. You lose the first two, win the next two, then you lose the next one, but win out. And you make the playoffs at a 7-3 record. The script is perfect so far, like last year. What's the mindset knowing that this same thing happened last year, and you kind of have that feeling that you have to win out if you want to secure a spot in the playoffs? So what's your mindset going into regional play?
Yeah, we've made it hard on ourselves all year, so might as well continue making it hard on ourselves, right? So, but yeah, you nailed it. We got to win out. If we have any chance of making the playoffs, you got to win out. And I think our kids are up for it. We got to do a better job coaching and making sure they're prepared and ready to play every night.
Once again, I'm Ryan Blank alongside head coach of Jaguar football, Nick Garrettson. Coach, last question. Thinking about where you were at week one, you lost a game that we've talked about. You said should have been a win. What do you think the biggest growth has been since week one for your team?
Well, we started a lot of new guys on both sides of the ball. Experience has been the biggest thing, and you see it in some areas, and then it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And they've got to figure it out. They got to understand that, the juniors aren't juniors anymore. The sophomores aren't sophomores anymore. And we need to get a little bit more from our seniors. So that's really the biggest thing is growth and experience. Like you said, they have 5 games of varsity football under their belts. So they have a good understanding what it takes to win. And winning football games is hard. And I think we're learning that the hard way.
Coach, once again, thank you for joining me. I will talk to you again next week, and good luck.
Thanks, Ryan.
Hey Varsity Sports Show, this is Erin Herpy, and I have a very important update on ASU football. With his new role as interim head coach, Sean Aguano has made it a priority to recruit more players from Arizona. Well, he has already started off strong with that. Aguano previously attended the Saguaro versus Chandler game. Chandler running back Khalil Valentine received an offer, as well as Williamsfield's Dylan Lee, and recently Saguaro's Logan Powell received an offer. This past Tuesday, he hosted over 60 athletes from the class of 2023 to 25 to the team's practice. There were multiple players from Hamilton, Chandler, Saguaro, and many other schools in the Phoenix area. The biggest recruit there was Ohio State commit and #1 recruit in the class of 2024, Dylan Raiola from Chandler. While Raiola seems heavily committed to Ohio State, there is no say what Aguano might pull out of his sleeve to convince him to stay close to home. As a former Chandler head coach, he knows the ins and outs of their program. Keep your eyes peeled as Sean Aguano and ASU hone in on their Arizona recruiting. This is Erin Herpy with the Varsity Sports Show, and I'll see you on the field.
This is Dan Marr with the Varsity Sports Show. The Hamilton Husky golf team was already known for its success. The 9-time state champions have 3 alumni playing in pro tours, with a combined 8 pro tour victories. They have over 12 alumni playing golf at the collegiate level, and right now, the Hamilton golf team are looking to make a 4th straight state championship. With only 2 events left in the season, the Huskies will look to junior star Vincent Cervantes in their quest for a 4th. Vincent Cervantes is one of the top golfers in the state of Arizona. As a sophomore, Cervantes captured the team state title, as well as the individual state title. Still, with 2 years left, Cervantes' goals are clear. He wants to win the individual state title 2 more times. The team and head coach Steve Canner believe in him and see the time and work he puts in around the golf course. Coach Canner has said he believes that Cervantes leaves no stone unturned when it comes to trying to improve his game. With the work ethic a player such as Cervantes has, it only helps improve the rest of the team. Senior Wyatt Chapman has been able to work hard and progress his game over the 4 years he has been at Hamilton and is now committed to Marquette next year. The Huskies will host Castile, Corona del Sol, and Perry on October 17th at 3 p.m. And then Hamilton will finish off the season with the Hamilton High School Golf Invitational at Bear Creek Golf Complex, where Cervantes, Chapman, Coach Canner, and the rest of the team will look to continue their good form in the quest for the 4th state championship in as many years.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hi, this is John Crane, Vice Mayor of Carefree, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
KDUS AM 1060 Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix is brought to you by AC by J, Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Drains.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
It's the JUCO Report on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show. News and notes from the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference.
Hour number 2 on the Varsity Sports Show. Welcome in on KDUS 1060 AM in Arizona. Hey, tonight we've got our HJCAC Game of the Week produced by the Varsity Sports Show. We'll be out at Campo Verde High School in Gilbert as the Gila River Hawks take on the Papago Pumas. And joining us this morning to talk about that game is Gila River head coach Mike Denny. Coach Denny, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, guys. How are you this morning?
Good. Thank you for joining us. Let's start off. What have you guys been working on in practice this week? It's a big game coming up tonight. What have you guys been doing to prepare?
Yeah, it is. We're coming off of a bye week, and so, we gave our guys a pretty good break last week, and we're able to get a few guys healed up, that were dinged and let some bumps and bruises, kind of take care of themselves. And so that's always a good thing, when you can get some guys back healthy and get them back to 100%. But, planning and preparing like we always do, for us, it's another game. We know that they're pretty explosive, very aggressive on defense. And so spend a fair amount of time in some blitz pickup periods, and just making sure that, we feel like we've got a good plan of attack going into it and, scheming according to what we saw on film and just keeping our guys in it and keeping them ready. So, yeah, it should be a good one. We'll see tonight at 7 o'clock how it all goes.
Yeah, so in practice and heading up to this game, what are your biggest expectations or what are your biggest things you want your guys to work on and achieve in tonight's game?
Well, we got to play a full 60 minutes. We can't miss on opportunities. We got to play clean, ball security. I think the team with the least amount of mistakes is going to have the best chance to win. Two pretty good football teams. A lot of times that variable can be an equalizer, and so we want to just make sure that, we're locked in upstairs, the 6 inches between our ears, And, athletically, they're pretty dang good. We feel like we are as well. And so, again, I think it all comes down to, who's going to be the sharpest, make the least amount of mistakes, take care of the football, and play the cleanest as it pertains to penalties and things like that. So mental was a big focus for us this week, and we'll hope it pays off.
Yeah, and Coach, Zafiropoulos here. I just had a question for you. So I was able to be at the Papago Pumas game last week against the Salt River Scorpions, and I noticed that their quarterback, Jaden Cunningham-Mitchell, just is really good at getting outside the pocket. He has great pocket presence, and he definitely has some elusiveness to him. How do you guys expect to contain him tonight?
Well, that's one thing you do have to do. He'll extend a lot of plays. He'll make a 3rd and 13 when it looks like it's all, kind of crashing down on him. He'll take off and move the chains and, get them a fresh set of downs. But we spent a fair amount of time knowing that, in a cage drill and a contain drill. I put some of my best, most shifty receivers over with the D-line 3 days this week. And that was something that they worked on over and over and over. So we'll see, hopefully all that time and effort and energy put into it.
Coach, hold the phone. Coach, it's Vince here. I got to ask you, are you telling me you sent receivers down to work with the D-line this week?
Absolutely, we did. And so anytime you have that cage drill or that contain drill, we have to try to find someone that can match, his elusiveness and his speed. And so, they work on their get-offs and getting to the passer with one of our, little scat back skill guys back there, and they chase them around as part of their period. Also in our scout periods, I put a quarterback back there that I know can run the ball, and his job is to take it 50 to 60 no matter what, so that we can pursue to it and try to get 11 halves to the guy. So, yeah, just something to try to emulate what we can expect to see. And like I said, hopefully we can keep him, contained, and I think that's going to be a big key, as you mentioned already, in defensively today. So if we can do that, I like our chances.
Coach, we got about 20 seconds. Just real quick, each side of the ball, one thing you guys want to work on tonight in this game.
No penalties, both sides. Offensively, can't miss opportunities. Defense, stop 18, and I think the Hawks can get it done if all those things fall into place.
All right, Coach, good luck tonight. Coach Mike Denny from the Gila River Hawks, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tonight.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks, man. Have a good day.
The Phoenix Suns hosted their media day on Monday, September 26th, as the new season is quickly approaching. And unlike other NBA media days, this one in particular felt a lot different than the rest. To start off, Jay Crowder, a member of that 2021 Western Conference Championship team, was not in attendance for the team, as the Suns are currently working with Crowder to find a trade destination that benefits both parties. Along with that, another member of the 2021 team, DeAndre Ayton, was very short in his answers to the media about his feeling towards figuring out a deal to keep him in the Valley. A day later, during Suns practice, he also stated that he had not talked to head coach Monty Williams since Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinals last season. Despite the fact that there were plenty of negative storylines to come out of Media Day, there have also been some positives. The Suns did release new statement jerseys that will put the lettering PHX back on the Suns jersey for the first time since 2019, as the team plans to use those jerseys in their opening night game against Dallas. Since then, the Suns have played 2 preseason games since their Media Day last week. On October 2nd, the Suns lost to the Adelaide 36ers 134-124, a team that plays in the Australia's National Basketball League, which got NBA Twitter buzzing questioning the Suns' performance in that game. Since that loss, the Suns have been able to bounce back in a preseason win against the Los Angeles Lakers 119-115 on October 5th in Las Vegas. The Suns will have 2 more preseason games against Denver and Sacramento before tipping off the NBA season at home against the Dallas Mavericks on October 19th at Footprint Center.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Kristos Zafiropoulos, and today I'm going to be giving you all my NFL primetime projections. The first primetime game of the weekend is this Sunday night, as the Cincinnati Bengals are traveling to Baltimore to face off against the Ravens. The matchup between the Bengals and the Ravens should be a high-scoring game as both teams have some firepower on offense. Last week, the Bengals got a big win over the Miami Dolphins while the Ravens blew a lead against the Buffalo Bills. But this week, I do see the Ravens bouncing back. I have the Ravens defeating the Bengals 34-28. Moving on to Monday Night Football, we got another big divisional primetime matchup as the Las Vegas Raiders will be traveling to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. The Raiders are going into this matchup at 1-3, struggling to start off this season, while on the other hand, the Chiefs, they're 3-1, and they looked great last week against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. I think this game is in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs just because of how good their offense is with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, the list goes on and on. But I do see this being another high-scoring game. I got the Chiefs coming out of this one 31-24. Those are my primetime predictions going into this NFL weekend. I'm Kristos Zafiropoulos, sending it back to the Varsity Sports Show studio.
Great report, Sto. So you're a big NFL guy. Number one, I got to ask you this question. This totally unscripted, unrehearsed. It just came to my head. Were you down when because you're from San Diego, were you disappointed when the Chargers left town?
Yeah, I was definitely disappointed just because I'd say I grew up as a Charger fan when I was little. And I was just disappointed because, I mean, we've grown up with the team our entire lives and everything and stuff there. And then, I mean, I don't think the Chargers have as many fans in Los Angeles as they did in San Diego. So, that's
well, I know the
it.
stadium, as in most places that have an NFL team for years and years, the stadium got to be an issue because I guess it's an older stadium there. And but anyway, all right. So your top picks in terms of games this weekend. What's going to be the must-see game?
I think there's two of them. I think one of the must-see games is the Monday night game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders haven't played very well this season, so they kind of.
You mean the Las Vegas Raiders?
Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
Yes, my bad.
That's all right.
Confusion there for the viewers. But yes, the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Raiders have played kind of off this season. They've been supposed to be pretty good, but they just haven't been getting anything rolling. So I think this is a game that they need to play up to their abilities because, I mean, the Chiefs, they look like a real contender. And then I think one other game to potentially watch is the Patriots and the Lions. The Patriots are playing with the third-string quarterback, so it's kind of an interesting scenario.
Who's that?
Bailey Zappi. He was a rookie drafted this year in the 4th round. Mac Jones got hurt against the Ravens. He got a high ankle sprain. And then Brian Hoyer got hurt in the next game, so they have a third-string quarterback playing. And the Lions are just a really fun team to watch, too. I like what Dan Campbell's doing over there with Detroit, trying to turn that whole franchise around. So I don't know what you think, Paul, but
he's definitely a character. I'll leave it at that. But I like his energy.
All right. So you've had a chance, Stos in particular, you had a chance to see the team that we are featuring tonight, the Elite Bears, the NYS team. What were your observations? And talk about that next segment coming up, too.
Well, I think the Elite Bears are just a very good youth football team. From the one game that I've been to, they were playing, I believe it was the Chandler Lobos, and I'm almost certain the score was about 42-0, something like that. But they just have an explosive offense. Their defense is really good, too. I mean, these are about 13-year-old kids, and when you have a team that is at that age dominating at that level, I mean, it's impressive to see. Up next, we
will talk to the coach of the Elite Bears, Coach Casey Allen. Will join the program up next. I'm fired up. Let's talk some NYS football here.
Stick around, guys, here on the Varsity Sports Show. We'll be back with Coach Casey Allen, NYS Elite Bears. Can't wait. We'll be back.
Games Out West featuring Ryan Brooks brings NFL, NBA, and local sports talk to you Monday nights at 7 here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
Hey, this is John Linton with the I Have a Name Project, and let's be better humans. You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
This is Dylan, the star of It's Dylan on the Varsity Sports Show. Tune in Saturdays for It's Dylan.
Chris Scott of RE/MAX is Central Oregon's best realtor for anyone thinking of a vacation home or relocation. He's our very own born and raised Phoenician who moved his family to Central Oregon nearly 15 years ago. Contact Chris if you're thinking of exploring beautiful Central Oregon. It truly is living at its best. 541-999-5614. Proud partner of the Varsity Sports Shows, It's Dylan.
Hey, this is Derek Van Halen from Van Halen, the world's most authentic tribute to Van Halen. And you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, Arizona.
Carving out time in your afternoon for the Doug Gottlieb Show right here on KDUS AM 1060, 100.7 HD2, and KDUS1060.com. Weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m.
It's the NYS on the Varsity Sports Show. AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Zafiropoulos here with the Varsity Sports Show. Up next, we got Casey Allen, the Elite Bears 13U head coach, and they will have a game tonight, the NYS Game of the Week at Higley High School against a team coming out of Texas. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very good this morning.
Coach, talk a little bit about tonight's game. This is interesting because you got a team coming in from Texas. What prompted this matchup?
So this is a team that's won. They won national championship last year in the youth national championship tournament, which is one of the strongest tournaments. There's two major tournaments in the nation. They're one of them. The other being AYF Nationals. And we went to AYF Nationals last year. Unfortunately, we were runner-up. We took second place at Nationals. So it was an opportunity for us to play one of the top teams in the country, former national championship, and we're excited.
And, Coach, how did you guys get this matchup set up?
They wanted to come out here to play. They wanted to bring their families out to ASU and have an experience and attend the ASU football game and play us at the same time. So we get top teams around the country that want to play us year in, year out, and we do some traveling as well. It just so happened this year they were coming to us.
So, Coach, I'm not real familiar with the youth football landscape as much, but getting these guys ready for high school, what are some of the big things that you focus on throughout the years?
We try to preach the fundamentals, preaching the things that football is built on, which is blocking, tackling, execution of plays, and being coachable. Also the life skills that we feel will translate to high school and beyond, such as teamwork, dedication, hard work, perseverance, and all those things that we know are recipes for good, productive young athletes and then ultimately young men.
And what would you say coaching and playing here in Arizona in the NYS League, what sets it apart from other places in the country and other leagues maybe in Arizona?
I would say that we have a lot of teams that play here in the Valley. And with our particular team, it's been fun because we've had this group of kids together for quite some time and got a chance to watch them develop. It's a little different from when I grew up playing football. You get a different coach at different levels, but with the new wave of football, youth football, the way it works is usually coaches and teams stay together through up the ranks, and you get a chance to see them develop. But and here in Arizona, it's really fun. It's very small community. A lot of the teams and families know each other, and the schools are pretty small community as well. So you get the chance to see what they do in high school, and a lot of the players end up playing against each other, and they know each other as well.
You mentioned your experience growing up, having different coaches and whatnot. What would you say for you as a coach is different at the NYS at the youth level compared to other levels of football?
At the youth level, I would say from our team experience, it's been very competitive, and I would say that the leader and the commissioner of NYS here in Arizona, James Beath, does a really good job engaging with the teams and the coaches and the football community, and it's a big league with the small league feel. So that's one thing I would say.
And Coach, how do you prepare for a team that you aren't used to seeing so often, a team that has won a national championship, as you said, last year?
It's very hard to prepare for a team like that, simply because you don't really come across those type of teams very often. And, you can do your very best to prepare throughout the week, watch film, and try to prepare the team mentally. But you don't know until the game time comes how that preparation pays off. So hopefully we'll come out on top tonight. We know that it's going to be our biggest test that we've had for the year so far, and we're excited for it.
And coming into tonight's game, put it very simply, what are the keys to beating this team, the former national champions?
I would say that we just can't beat ourselves. We have to execute well. We need to hold our own up front in the trenches. They're a very big team, very big, stout, all the way around at the skill and the lineman position, very athletic. So we'll have to execute our plays extremely well, to take advantage of mismatches and scheme opportunities. And defensively, we'll just have to do what we've done all year long, is play smothering, game tackling football, swarm defense. So that's going to be the key.
All right, Coach Casey Allen of the 13U Elite Bears. Thank you, Coach, for joining us. Good luck tonight.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jacob Carlisle, and I work for the Varsity Sports Radio Show. And today my guests are head varsity basketball coach of the Barry Goldwater Bulldogs, Joshua Ballany, or his players. How you guys doing today?
Doing good.
All right, quick questions for you, Coach, first. What is the biggest challenge as a coach?
The biggest challenge for me as a coach is getting the players to believe in themselves. Even if they're just starting, they have to know that I'm there to help them. And sometimes they just can't get out their own heads with that. But as we're progressing, they're seeing that I know what I'm talking about. You guys are going to be just fine. And also, I'm a male coach coaching female players. So I don't want to say limit my wording, but be a little softer sometimes, be a little more compassionate.
What is one lesson you teach on the court that you want players to take with them when they leave?
Our motto so far is strive to be uncommon. We can do anything that we put our minds to. So there's no I can'ts. There is only I can try and I can get better.
Other than winning the state title, what is the main goal for this season?
The main goal for this season is just to get better. We have a really young team, and the main goal for me is to let them know that you guys can do it no matter how old you were. At their age, I was already about to be in college. If I can do that at that age, the sky's the limit for them, especially with the things that we're doing now in the facility that they have here.
All right, guys, if you're just joining us, my name is Jacob Carlisle, and I work for the Varsity Sports Radio Show. And today my guests are head varsity basketball coach of the Barry Goldwater Bulldogs, Joshua Ballany. A couple questions here for your players. What did you do, or what did you work on specifically in the off season?
Joy, you can answer that.
Well, we worked on practicing our dribbling, starting with the basics, learning how to dribble the ball correctly, and then learning how to move with the ball, because dribbling it stationary and moving with the ball are two different concepts, and those concepts have to be mastered separately.
Who are the leaders on your team?
I am the team captain, and there are two others, but I believe that we are all leaders.
All right. What is your biggest challenge or moment of adversity that you guys faced last season?
Kind of being a smaller team, because we were all pretty short for a team.
This is for Coach. What can we expect from you guys this season?
What can you expect from us this season? With the philosophy we're going for this year, we're trying to be a lot more aggressive. Obviously, this is my first year with the team. Last year, I understand there was no weightlifting. There wasn't very much plays. There wasn't a level of aggression this year. I'm from the South, and that's how we play basketball. We're bringing a level of aggression, starting on the defensive end. We're going to hang our hats on the defensive side. We're going to get in your face. We're going to get steals. We're going to get blocks. We're going to be known for that. And we're going to try and run everybody out the gym.
Alrighty, guys. I have just interviewed head varsity basketball coach of the Barry Goldwater Bulldogs, Joshua Ballany, and some of his players. Thank you guys so much, and good luck this season.
Hello and good morning to Sun Devil Nation, but specifically the women's volleyball team fans. The Lady Devils return home this weekend after a month-long road trip to face both SoCal Pac-12 schools, with UCLA on October 7th and University of Southern California on October 9th. They started their season off by going 2-1 in the Webb Burbridge Classic. Then they traveled to Georgia for the Georgia Tech Invitational, where they put up the same record as the weekend before of 2-1. Then they had back-to-back tournaments in Texas with the Baylor Invitational and the Red Raider Classic, in which they went 1-2 both times. Shortly after, they entered Pac-12 play with an opener against none other than U of A. This resulted in a win for the Devils, getting their Pac-12 tenure off to a positive start. Shortly after, they fell to Boulder and Oregon the week after. However, their latest game ended with a win against Oregon State in 5 sets. They plan to continue this success and their overall record of 8-8 again this weekend at Desert Financial Arena for the first time in 5 weeks. So be sure to go out and support the Lady Devils.
The Sun Devils are back on the ice. No, ASU's hockey team hasn't played at their new hockey rink, Mullet Arena, quite yet, but they will soon. The Sun Devils started their season up north, facing Minnesota Duluth in a 2-game series this past weekend. The first game resulted in a 2-3 overtime loss to the Bulldogs. The second game, the Bulldogs showed why they are the 5th-ranked team in the country, providing a 4-1 beatdown on the Sun Devils. Despite going 0-2 to start the season, there were still some bright spots for the Devils. ASU's goalie, TJ Semtefelter, made his debut wearing the maroon and gold and did not disappoint. Semtefelter recorded 38 saves for the Sun Devils, including some highlight reel plays to keep ASU in the game. His 38 saves are the second most in a season debut by a goalie at ASU, trailing only Joey Descartes. Sophomore Jack Jensen and junior Lucas Sillinger were both able to put the puck in the back of the net for the Devils on the first game, and Dimitrios Kumontsits was the lone scorer for ASU on Saturday night. The Sun Devils are staying in Minnesota, facing Bemidji State yesterday and today before heading home. ASU will have its home opener in the new arena facing Colgate October 14th and 15th. If you plan on attending, you might want to get a mullet haircut just to fit in with the rest of the crowd. I'm Shane Fricke, and thank you for listening to Varsity Sports Show.
Extra Point with Kayla and Kemp on KDUS AM 1060 from 11 to noon, diving into local and national sports topics, plus the latest sports odds.
Hi, this is Mike from Beachin' with Beal, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
This is Coach Lucas Ramirez, and you are listening to the home of the Saguaro Sabercats, the Varsity Sports Show, on AM 1060 KDUS.
founder-level sponsors, the Kristen Graziano Group with HomeSmart Elite, are proud to be Saguaro alumni, community advocates, and your hometown realtors. The Kristen Graziano Group is ranked in the top 1.5% of real estate teams nationally, and your top-selling team right here in SaberCat territory. The Kristen Graziano Group can currently be seen on the Emmy-nominated TV show Selling the Valley of the Sun. When you're ready to buy, sell, or want to know the value of your home, reach out to the group that knows the neighborhood, the Kristen Graziano Group.
SB Nation Radio is now Sports Map Radio, keeping sports content fresh and fun. Join us right here on KDUS AM 1060.
This is the SaberCat Report with Saguaro SaberCat football coach Jason Mons on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. And now, here's Coach Mons.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. And now the moment we've been waiting for. The monkey's off our back. Coach Jason Mons with the big win last night over a very good Desert Edge team. Coach, congratulations. And you're going to kick back and watch some football today?
Yeah, we're watching Saguaro versus Desert Edge right now, and then we're going to watch Highland later. And
you're working.
At the end of the day, I'll go to ESPN.com and see all the scores of the games I wasn't able to watch.
Okay. All right, Coach. So fair enough. All right. Well, anyway, like I said, great job last night. Congratulations. I'm going to turn it over to Kristos and Paul because they got a bunch of questions to hammer you with.
Hey, Coach. Paul Schulz here. I want to talk a little bit, or have you talk a little bit about the tribute you guys had last night to Tug Garcia wearing green in his honor. And can you kind of tell the story behind that and what you guys were able to do with the tribute last night?
Absolutely, yeah. Mike Tug Garcia, Tugboat was his nickname, was a longtime equipment manager here at Saguaro. Was here, I think, for 4 or 5 years before I got here as a head freshman coach in 2007, and was with us until he passed away unexpectedly in 2013. I think it was September 30th, 2013, my second year as head coach. And the reason why we honor him every year is because of what he meant to this community. He was not only a longtime equipment manager and softball coach here, but he was a friend and confidant and mentor to not just the athletes and coaches, but to really everybody on this campus, from teachers to students to alumni that had graduated that would come back to see him. He was just he embodied what makes Saguaro special, and it's people and relationships and caring about people and being there for people. And so when he passed away in 2013, it was on a Monday, the week of our game against Queen Creek. We played them on Cox 7, and Tug was an alumni of St. Mary's High School, and he always liked to wear his Kelly Green Boston Celtics hats or Oakland A's hats. Anything that was Kelly Green, he always liked it because of his St. Mary's days. So we decided to pay tribute to him that Friday night. There was a lot of talk about if we would play or not. We decided that we would play and we would honor him in that game. And so we spat it up with all the green tape, and his family came and we did a moment of silence and recognized him. And it was there wasn't a dry eye in the stadium. And we've done that every year since. This was I think our 9th year of doing it. The last 4 years now, we've given an award called the Mike Tug Garcia Legacy Award to a member of the community that's had a big role in the athletic programs, that's made a difference in people's lives. And so last night we gave that award to a guy named Mike Harris, who was a long-time teacher at Saguaro, just recently retired. He's back subbing, but always been a guy that he helps out at every game. He does scorekeeping. He runs the scoreboard. He does play-by-play. He does whatever he can do. And so really cool deal for us. The thing that was that I always think about every year is in 2013 we played for a state championship. It was my first state championship as a head coach. It was the day that I proposed to my wife Sarah on the field at the end of the game. But we had Tug's brothers, and they brought Tug's urn with his ashes into the locker room with us before that game. And he was just a huge part of our program, and he still remains a huge part. And we want to make sure that these kids know, even though that some of these kids weren't around, even I guess they were little kids when Tug was here, but what he embodied is what makes us special. We want to make sure that we carry that on.
Wow, what a great honor and a great story there. Stos, you got a question for Coach Mons?
Yeah, Coach, Stos Zafiropoulos here. Your guys' running back, Jaden Matthews, he's been a really big part of your guys' offense. He had a huge touchdown run last night. Could you just let me know how much he's impacting your team?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think early on in the season, we had a little bit of a hard time getting him loose. You know, he was getting a lot of attention. We played in some really, really good teams, and I think, you know, you've seen it over the last couple of weeks, 2-3 games, where he's really starting to figure it out. He's really starting to get loose. I think getting Zacchaeus Cooper back and having that two-back attack has really helped our run game, and I think they both complement each other so well. Kind of like the thunder and lightning mantra a little bit, where Zacchaeus is a real physical in between the tackles back, and Jaden is electric, and if he gets a crease and gets into daylight, you know, there's not many people in the state that can run him down. So, you know, excited about the way he's playing. Obviously, he's an electric player. He's a big time player for us, and more so than just his play on the field. I think he's really stepped up in a leadership role. You know, really taking on some more responsibility with the team and challenging guys and pushing guys. And I've been really proud of him, how he's risen from that leadership standpoint.
Coach, your quarterback Devin Dampier had another nice game last night. Throughout this season, what have you seen from him?
Yeah, no, he's a dude. He makes plays for us when we need to make plays. I think he's done a good job the last few weeks of settling in and letting the game come to him. You know, I think early in the season, you know, he was having to really be the sole provider of our offense. We were struggling in some areas and kind of, you know, getting whipped up front a little bit, having a hard time running the ball, and he was keeping plays alive. And now I think we're settling in where our offensive line has steadily improved every week. We're running the ball more efficiently and more effectively. When teams try to play a light box and put more attention on, you know, receivers like Derek English and Dejon Hinton and those guys, we're making them pay now, and that's huge. So I'm proud of Dev. He does what the team needs. If he just needs to manage the game and take what they give us, he'll do it. If he needs to take over the game, obviously we've all seen that too. So he just continues to be a great player for us, and we have the utmost confidence in his ability to lead our team.
And, Coach, you guys have a bye coming up next week. How are you guys going to use that to get some extra preparation before your next matchup?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of two things. I think number one, you gotta rest up mentally and physically. It's, you know, we've played 6 games. It's been a flash. I can't believe we're six games through the season. It's happened so fast, even though it's been a grind. So I think we need to use this week to get right as far as our mental and physical health. And then we need to use it as an advantage to get a little bit of a head start. So that's why I actually gave our players, we're always in from 7 a.m. to about 1 o'clock on Saturdays. Actually gave our players a day off today. Our coaching staff's in here right now watching film. And then we'll come in Monday and we'll watch film with the kids, and then we'll kind of get a light walkthrough, kind of basic install on Highland. And then we'll have 2 really good practices Tuesday and Wednesday. We're actually on fall break, so we didn't get a lot of favors from the scheduling committee, but the one thing that we did get was our bye week on our fall break, which is really nice. So we'll practice Tuesday and Wednesday, full go, good full-length physical practices, and then we'll give our kids the rest of the week off. So I think that's it. It gives us a 3-day head start on Highland. We don't need to practice 5 days, 2 weeks in a row. I think there's a lot to be said about just getting some rest and recovery. So hopefully that will get us charged up and ready to go into, you know, really the home stretch of our season, the last 4 games. I think if we want to be an open team, we can still control our destiny if we win out. And so, you know, we're really kind of going into playoff mode when we come out of this bye week.
All right, Jason Mons, head coach of the Saguaro SaberCats. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
All right, thanks for having us.
You are listening to The Husky Report with Horizon Husky football coach Andy Litton on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Hey, Varsity Sports Show, this is Aaron Herpy. I am here with Coach Litton. Coach, you guys just had a big win against Higley. How important was this win for your team?
You know, it's just a huge one for us and our confidence. We've had a rough go. Really 2 great opponents that we had to see, and that's a great football team, and I'm so proud of our kids and how we battled right through the end. So,
what good things did you see from your team in this game?
We had grit. We were gritty. We had resolve. Kids kept battling all the way to the end. Had a great big turnover late, a drive that took the clock all the way out, and our defense had a great stand at the end.
And moving into next week, what are you guys going to work on for your next game?
Again, we got to continue to clean things up. Offensively, we got to finish drives. We had too many times where we finished inside their 20, and defensively did a great job. We just need to make sure that we ride the momentum.
Thank you, Coach, and congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Hey, Varsity Sports Show. This is Aaron Herpy. I'm here with Anthony Segura. Anthony, you had that really big touchdown towards the end of the game that put your team back in the momentum that they needed. How important was that for you guys?
That was really important. That gave us a boost of morale, and yeah.
So moving into the rest of the season, how important is it for you guys to continue this momentum that you have right now?
It's very important because we started off slow, and that really just declined our confidence, and I think this will increase it, and we'll be moving pretty good for the next 2 games.
Thank you, and congrats.
You are listening to the Camelback Spartan Report with head football coach Brandon McNutt on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
This is Sparta!
Hi guys, welcome back to Varsity Sports Show. My name is Ana de la Cruz, and I am here with our winning coach, Coach McNutt, who took the win over Fairfax, 18-16. Coach, your team did not hesitate to come back the first time when you guys went down in the third quarter. What did you see from Day on that drive right there all the way to the end zone?
Well, here's the crazy thing. Day's been doing that all this year. I don't know if you saw where he actually ran the punt, got scored, and then got called back. I think he was due. Yeah. You know, that's why we're looking at flag. Anytime he scores, there's a flag. I feel sorry for that kid at times.
It counted this time, though.
Yeah, this time at the right time in the right moment.
Exactly. Fairfax kind of took the lead once again, but Max Martin and the rest of the team were really able to capitalize on their next possession. How do you think they were able to do so in order to gain the lead back?
They've been doing this, I'll be honest, all year. The balls just didn't drop our way. I mean, we're scoring 30, 40 points a game, kind of deal. So we know we can put the points up, anytime. So they're confident in it.
Perfect. Defense was huge, especially in that last drive right there with the minute left. What did you see from them?
Well, we did talk about this in the beginning. He said it was going to be a defensive game. But they've done that. You go back to the Arcadia game when it was on the defensive end. We got a big sack at the end of the game. Same situation. When it comes to the end, we want our defense on the field.
All right. And then punch after punch in this one. How do you think you guys were able to take the win?
Like I said, we going through the non-region games we did, the Mesas, the Desert Mountains, like I said, we've taken our punches and we're learning how to punch back.
At the right time, too.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining me, and congratulations on your win, Coach.
Hey, this is the first win against Fairfax by Camelback ever. So you can put that in.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Nobody pray for me. It been a day for me.
Welcome to the Wolves Recap with Desert Mountain football coach Conrad Hamilton.
Coach, tough loss tonight. What was your biggest takeaway from the game?
It's good to play in good, tough high school football games. That would be my biggest takeaway. And then again, when you fail, that's when you make your biggest progressions and you learn. So we're going to learn a lot from this loss. All right, our goal was coming into the year, we wanted to, number one, beat Chaparral. All right, number two, we wanted to win the section. I don't know what that means now, and we're not going to watch the scoreboard, but they're in our section. We lost to them right now. So, we got 4 more games to play, and hopefully we'll run the table going 9-1 and figure out what we're going to do after that. But, what we learned is, we got to get better. And we knew that coming in here. The way we practiced the last 2 weeks, whatever, has been below our standards. We've had a lot of guys sick and out that don't practice. When you have 32 guys, when guys aren't consistently practicing, it shows out here. Our starting quarterback was out with a concussion, so that, affected us a little bit tonight in some of those situations where Brady could have used his legs and added a run element in the game with his quarterback, or called runs and things of that nature. And then, we didn't play great on third down defense, even though they only had 7 points. We let a guy we looked slow a couple times out. We let a guy get to the edge when we had him outflanked on third down and 11 to get a touchdown. So there's some things we need to work on. We need to evaluate our roster and make sure we have the best players playing. And then we need to enhance the guys' skill sets and understanding so we can get the best guys on the field for the next four weeks, and then we'll go from there. But we're going to take time to rest, I think.
And then, sorry, I just cut you off.
No, go ahead.
And then overtime doesn't happen super often in high school football. How often do you practice that overtime?
You know what? We do a lot of red zone stuff, whatever, so we practice it every Wednesday for us. So we're doing it kind of every Wednesday. They got a walk-off on their first touchdown, right? We didn't get the right call, whatever. They double passed it, trick play. Kudos to them for that. But offensively, man, But we're supposed to. We got 3 Division I kids on our team on offense. We have to be able to, in my opinion, all right, and I'll go in there and I'll chop on us, but we got to be able to score more than 17 points. We got a 6'4" receiver. We got a freaking 6'6" tight end, and Jack is one of the better receivers in the state of Arizona. We got to be able to move the ball a little bit more efficiently and score, in my opinion, and those are things that we'll work on. Yep.
Thank you,
Coach. I
Coach.
expect to win these games, though. I don't expect to lose those type of games.
Thank you.
Yep. Hey. You ready?
You are listening to the home of Canyon View Jaguar football, the Jag Nation, on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. And now, here's Coach Nick Garris.
Is you ready? Are you ready? Is you ready? Whole squad ready. We came here to see.
Zafiropoulos here with the Varsity Sports Show. I'm with Canyon View head coach Nick Garris after the big 32-3 win over Willow Canyon. And coach, you guys did a great job tonight defensively. What was the game plan and how did you guys execute?
Yeah, we wanted to stop the run. These guys came out in the paper and said that only great 3-4 defenses can stop them. So I guess we're a great 3-4 defense after the outing today.
Yeah, and it seemed like they continued to run the same formation, trying to run the speed option. How did you guys adapt to that?
Yeah, and we worked on it all week on film, and Coach Olo and the defense staff had a really good game plan, so they executed and played really well.
Yeah, and you guys played with 2 quarterbacks tonight, and it worked out for you guys. Can we expect to see that again, not next week because of your guys' bye, but in the next game?
Yeah, I think that's the plan, is they both deserve to play, and they both bring different skills to us, so going forward, that's probably going to be the plan.
And we saw that trick play at the end of the game, the 2-point conversion that got called back because of the holding penalty. Can we expect to maybe see something like that again?
We'll see. It was a good call. It should have counted, but that's all right.
Cool. Thank you, Coach. This was Zafiropoulos with the Varsity Sports Show. We'll see you guys next time for more Jaguar football after this bye week.
Monday nights from 7 to 8 p.m. It's James Out West featuring Ryan Brooks as the duo breaks down the NFL, NBA, and the local sports scene here on KDUS AM 1060.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vets Built Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vets Built is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vets Built at 480-584-3675. Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hi, this is Rob Maggs, Vince's life coach and surfing coach to the Beach Bum Beal. You're listening live to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS.
Tune in Saturdays 7 to 8 a.m. for the My Recruit Show with Coach Perrone. Brought to you by the Varsity Media Foundation. Hear weekly local and national high school recruiting updates and understand the journey with Coach Perrone on KDUS AM 1060.
And now it's time for Beachin' with Beal. Random thoughts from a real Orange County, California surfer guy, Mike Beal. The opinions expressed during the segment in no way represent those of KDUS AM 1060 Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show, its host, or its listeners. So about 3 years ago, I was looking for something to fill some airtime, and what it evolved into has become an institution. The Beachin' with Beal Southern California Surfing Report, and it brought to you by the guy himself, Mike Beal. Mike.
And Vince, it also spawned the Vincapalooza extravaganza,
Yes,
which
of
is
course.
yeah, for everyone that doesn't know, it's a world surf tour covering North Orange County, and I'm on tour stop number 4 at Blackie's, and it was so fun this morning that I almost considered not getting out of the water.
All right.
So you better make it. You better make it worth it for me.
I got whatever. I gotta say this because I have two guys in studio here: Kristos Zafiropoulos and Paul Schulz. These guys are Southern California guys. Kristos is from San Diego. They're ASU students, but Paul is from Orange County himself, from Huntington. And I told him that you are wait, don't get too excited, because when I told Paul that you're a Costa Mesa guy, he kind of like made this face and he said, "Oh, the armpit of Orange County."
Let me stop you right there for this important emo announcement. Okay. Vince is a little salty today, so.
But he wasn't in the water. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
No, I'm from North Orange County, so I make it down. I make my way down to Newport, Huntington, all those beaches down there whenever you can. What's your favorite Orange County beach?
It's definitely Newport. I mean, hands down. But Huntington is number 2 for me. I really enjoy it down here quite a bit. It's got a little of everything. It's like being on vacation every day when I come down here.
You seen any sharks? You seen any sharks down in HB lately? I know a couple years ago that was a problem.
Yeah, not lately, but one time at Salt Creek, a little further south from here, I was walking out to start paddling out, and a shark bumped into me. It was a tiny little tiger shark.
That's not
hit
good.
me right in the leg. Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 feet. And I promptly turned around and came back in and went home and kind of cried a little bit on my bed. It was very traumatizing.
What's the craziest? What's the craziest creature you've seen out in the water?
One time I was stand-up paddleboarding around Newport Pier, and I was probably a couple hundred yards offshore, maybe 500, and all of a sudden I hear this kaboom, and I turn around, and it was a dolphin jumping up and down in the water. It was like a bomb went off, and again I promptly turned around and paddled straight into shore. But I mean, it's not like SeaWorld out there, it was more like the Terminator / some kind of horror movie. The dorsal fins are all messed up, and they look like they want to kill you, even though apparently they're friendly, I guess. But
yeah, and Beal, as Vince told you already, I'm from San Diego. I was just kind of wondering, do you ever maybe surf at Cardiff or like Torrey Pines or Del Mar or anywhere like that?
I sure do. Yeah, I used to surf Del Mar a lot, 15th Street. Torrey Pines is a little tougher to get to, but I really like North County, Swami's, Pipes.
Black's Beach.
So there's always got to be that one guy that brings up Black's Beach. Yeah. Oh, Vince, by the way, that reminds me. As you know, I'm sure a lot of people call you Barney, not just me. And so anyway, I actually looked it up.
Yeah.
So, and this is applicable not only to surfing, but for you, like for your life, like your work, your friends, family. So anyway, here's the textbook definition of Barney.
Okay.
It is a surfer that is not cool, untalented, and a rookie. And so maybe at first I thought about your 4 years of playing football with me, but really it's just like I said, apply to everything.
We were, guys, in case you didn't know, Mike and I were teammates in high school, and I basically, you could say I carried him for 4 years. My shoulders were just so sore. So I had to, I even had this kind of unwritten agreement with his dad, who I'm basically the son that his dad never had, but I had this agreement that I would look out for him as, kind of a little buddy type of situation. And so I did that.
Yeah, he did that for me when he wasn't busy trying to win the Spirit Award on the team, which goes to the most enthusiastic player that doesn't ever get any playing time. And I think he won it 2 years in a row. It was a record at the time. I don't know if it still stands.
Yeah. So speaking of when Paul had asked you about the most frightening thing you had seen in the water, I spent some time with you out there. I gave boogie boarding a shot. Why don't you tell these guys how that went?
You did. It went as you would expect for a Barney. He got annihilated.
How deep was the water?
We were surfing Upper West Newport. It was probably maybe 6 feet, 8 feet deep.
Yeah,
I guess
it's
not really.
Yeah, I was.
It's not real deep, and it breaks a lot closer to shore in Newport than most places. Like Huntington, it breaks probably 3 times as far.
Yeah.
But,
all right, Mike.
Yeah.
So at Blackie's now we've got a couple minutes left. So talk a little bit specifically about where you're at as part of the Vincapalooza Surf Tour.
All right, I'm at Blackie's. It's kind of a semi-private place. There were only about 300 other guys trying to get waves with me.
Yeah,
it's a real popular spot. It's just north of Newport Pier, and that reminds me. A couple of weeks ago, I went to the Newport Beach Historical Society's Wedge Awards.
Yeah.
But I heard a very interesting story. So about 100 years ago, before the wedge was made, John Wayne was body surfing at Balboa Pier. I guess that was the happening spot in the 20s. So anyway, it was between his sophomore and junior year at USC. He was on the football team. He was a starter. I want to say he was a tackle. Anyway, he broke his collarbone body surfing at the pier. And so he gets summarily dismissed from the football team, but the coach kind of liked him. And he said, all right, I got some friends at Warner Brothers. I'll get you a manual labor job on the lot. And so he was working there to try to pay his way through school. Somebody said, why don't you jump in here in one of these movies? He started as an extra. And,
wow.
The rest is history. The Duke.
Wow.
I guess you could say kind of that the world kind of owes Newport Beach made the Duke for everyone to enjoy.
Gratitude to Newport. All right. Well, on that note, thank you so much, Mike. Thanks for an insightful report with the Beach and with Beal Southern California Surf Report. We'll talk to you next week.
Always a pleasure, Vince. Next week on the Vincapalooza Tour, I'm going to hit up an old favorite, 32nd Street at the Jetty.
All right, guys. So let's get a recap of your thoughts on today's show, and starting with you, Paul.
Man, I just got to say, time flies when you're having fun. These 2 hours flew by so fast, but we had a lot of great interviews here, a lot of great segments from our reporters, and I'm fired up for HJCAC football tonight, game of the week.
Out at Campo Verde, it's going to be live streamed. We're doing the game, so it'll be on our Twitter, the link at Varsity Show. Stos, what about you?
Yeah, and like Paul said, time really is flying when you're having fun. I really enjoyed hopping on the radio show for the first time, really getting to experience what this is like, and calling some football again tonight. Got to call some yesterday, so I'm excited to do that with Paul for the first time this season. Looking forward to coming back on the radio show later this semester, so just wanted to be thankful for the opportunity.
All right, thank you guys. Paul Schulz, Kristos Zafiropoulos. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Wanted to thank our old friends, Dylan Weinmiller with It's Dylan, the Sabercat Report with Coach Jason Mons, of course, Beachin' with Beal, Mike Beal, Southern California Surf Report, the NYS Report, Elite Bears football tonight, the JUCO Report with Coach Mike Denny, Gila River Hawks, and my buddies on the NAIA football panel. Thanks so much. Guys, have a great day. A lot of football today. Enjoy it. Let's not take life too seriously, and thanks again for tuning in. We'll be back next week here on the Varsity Sports Show. Thanks, Aaron. Ed and Javon are up next. Go Varsity. Thank you.